This week I'm in Kia's K4 Sport. I'm sorry about the blowy weather, but as you can see, Botany Bay is looking a little bit how's your father. There's a cyclone going to cross the coast tomorrow. So poor old Brisbane is going to cop it. That's about 900 kilometres or so away. Thankfully a long way away from us, but we're still going to get that weather. The K4, what can I tell you? When I first saw it, I didn't like it at all. The front, with its marvellously complex headlights, it does look quite good. But it's from the side that I've got the biggest issue. What, in the name of all that is holy, is that? In particular, I've got a problem with this fastback bit, and this is a fastback, not a hatch. The hatch apparently looks more like an estate car or a shooting brake. The handle for the back door is up here at the top. The door is absolutely huge, but when I tried to get in the back just now, we did go for a long drive in this on the weekend, I wasn't in the back. This is incredibly low, and although there was enough room for my legs, I've got a slightly dodgy back and I couldn't get my head under that easily. And then we move around to the rear, that definitely looks like a hatch. This bit, the rear window, that looks like it comes up with the boot, but you press this little button here and up it comes. It's just a boot, but it is huge. Just wrap your eyeballs around that lot. It is absolutely enormous. The seats go down in a 60-40 split, and there's a little button just here where you can pull that to pull the seats down. There's one on either side. I've always liked that about Kia. They've got little thoughtful touches. And you can see at the back that I think just looks particularly awkward. The way the lights bunch out over this square mudguard, that looks great on SUVs, but it doesn't suit a sedan, or for that matter, a hatch. There's some 17-inch wheels, and even this lowly second to bottom model has smart entry. And that means it's also got push button start. Let me just start this up. Get into the front of the cabin, and this is actually really smooth. I'm most impressed by this digital dash. It's not quite the full digital dash that we get on some of the other Hyundai Group cars, but this is still pretty impressive for a second to bottom model. This has automatically gone to my wireless CarPlay. I've got these buttons programmed to do particular things. The star button here, star button on the steering wheel, the mode button, and the volume up, down, on, off button, programmed to do specific things. This one is programmed to go to CarPlay. The middle section here, which you can probably just see, is for climate controls. Got everything you need, including a sync button. The thing that I like about all Hyundai Group cars is that you've got the auto button, but you can set your own fan speed. So this is up on 3 at the moment, but you can also set it to auto temperature, but just 1 fan speed. Down below we've got some air conditioning controls, physical controls. So the temperature, it's very oddly split. The temperature displays up here, whoops, on the touch screen, but is controlled by these physical buttons down below. Above that, between that and this 12.3-inch screen or thereabouts, we've got some buttons that control the media center. Having said that, you can control the media center by touch. Pretty impressive for a base model car, although this one is in the mid-30s drive away, which is still a princely price. I love the touch and feel. Even though this is scratchy plastic, it doesn't feel cheap. Down below that we've got the gear selector, auto hold, auto brake hold that is, the button to turn the sensors off so that if you're parked at Macca's, it's not constantly chirping at you, which I just was, and the camera button, which it doesn't have 360-degree view cameras. That's fine, I guess. In the tray there is no Qi charger, which I found very difficult to come to terms with on the weekend on my long run, because I didn't take a cable with me, I forgot, and my phone was nearly flat, and it was sucking up juice using wireless CarPlay, and I had no way to charge it. Outlets, there's 2 USB-Cs in the front, 2 in the back, and the one that connects to the media system has a switch, so it can be just power, or it can be power and USB. And I assume that's because it has more power going to it if you don't have it connected to USB to the audio system. But in any event, it means you can have two phones charging in the front or two devices charging in the front and a separate device, wireless car playing tunes through the wireless system. The system is pretty quick to respond. The settings screen, this is where you program the buttons. There's a range of buttons there. That's the ones I programmed earlier. The sounds, you'll want to ditch those straight away. Now, I've got this one programmed too. The speed limit. As you know, my pet hate in all of these cars, doesn't matter what brand it is or how much it costs, the speed limit recognition is almost always wrong. And as always, one of the things I really like about the Hyundai Group cars is that you can set the outside air to turn off when you're entering a tunnel. So to get back to the car, all right, I'm putting the 6-speed automatic in drive, 6 speeds. That's my first beef, unless you count the looks. Over the 4 models, the S, Sport, Sport Plus and GT line, there's 2 engines. The GT line gets a 1.6 turbo and that's got an 8-speed automatic. This, with 142 kilowatts. This, on the other hand, has 112 kilowatts with a non-turbo 2-litre. And it's a little bit breathless when it comes to overtaking or entering a freeway, as I found out the other day. Suspension is McPherson strut at the front and torsion bar at the rear. And the ride, it's okay. I can tell this has been got at, locally tuned. Kia is one of the few companies that still does local tuning. I've got to say that steering is absolutely sublime. It's brilliant. It's a little noisy in the cabin. Now, I'm going to put it up into sport mode. Get your calendar out. At least it's not like some of the other Kias and Hyundais that starts in eco mode. That drives me absolutely bananas. This has a full suite of ADAS, which is the advanced driver assistance systems and safety systems, obviously. And one of the things that it does is that it has auto steering. And auto steering you can activate by pressing the auto steering button. Now it's active. Once I activate the cruise control, well, now that's interesting. That's it telling me that I wasn't looking at the road. The automatic lane change has already come up. I think I might have answered my own question. If you use the cruise control activation to activate it, the highway assist comes up. If you turn that on beforehand and then activate it with the up or down button, it doesn't. Let me show you how that works. It's changing lanes now all by itself. And then when it's finished, the indicator goes off. Now it just asked me, again, confuses me. A little bing just came up and said, press OK if you want to use lane change assist. I don't know why it does that. And if you don't press that OK button, it won't then use lane change assist. Why not just make it on and leave it on? I noticed that it wasn't brilliant at sticking to the speed limit going downhill. Did get a little carried away. Now we're at highway speed. This is quite nice. It's doing everything itself, keeping a set distance from the car in front. That distance you can alter using the button on the steering wheel. It's keeping relatively centered, though I did notice on the weekend it was going a little close to some of the lines for my liking. Then we get to fuel consumption. This is a small car with a small engine. And I have a feeling that that's where this 6-speed automatic is letting this car down. The current fuel consumption since last reset is 9.4 litres per 100 kilometres. And that's terrible. It should be much less than that. So to wrap up, the driver and safety features are first class. And like all Kias, works brilliantly. The looks, I'm just not fussed on, and I'm not going to ever mention that again. that's all this week for the Kia K4. I was rather hoping to like it more than I do, but I think it is a touch too expensive, a touch too unattractive, and it just doesn't inspire me. I think it's brave of Kia to launch a new passenger car into a shrinking market. As always, hit like, leave a comment, and just over there to subscribe.